Good day, everyone. Don Mitz here from the OHSAA. Welcome to another in our series of online local rules meetings for the 2020 high school soccer season. We have two great presenters today. Robert Hope from the Dayton Area Soccer Officials Association. He is State Director of Instruction for Ohio South, a regional referee, and a girls varsity coach on the high school level. He'll be assisted by Jamie Duling of the East Ohio Soccer Officials Association. Jamie is a longtime high school and collegiate referee, and he is now a national assistant referee for U.S. Soccer. So, gentlemen, take off.
Thank you, Don. This is Robert Hope. Hey, just want to say welcome, everyone. Today, we'll be looking at considerations by FIFA in regards to challenges. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. All videos are courtesy of FIFA and are included in the latest FIFA Futuro teaching material. This is, you're going to see two different slides, one with FIFA, and we do have information that we are presenting, both Jamie and I, and you will find those labeled as non-FIFA points. So as you look at these slides, please take note of the difference between the two. Jamie, you want to say hello?
Yes, thank you so much, Don and Robert, for letting us join in and help out with these meetings. It is a great honor to be able to join and present a little bit tonight. So thank you so much for your time and efforts, and those of you as we go back to the fields, good luck, be safe. We'll see you out there soon.
Let's go ahead and get started. Considerations by FIFA. Now, U.S. Soccer has considerations. We are familiar, most of us are familiar with those considerations, but FIFA, I like FIFA because it breaks it down a little bit and they're easy to remember. These are the considerations by FIFA in regards to looking at challenges and making a decision based on a foul and then implementing misconduct, the punishment for misconduct. We're going to break these down one by one. And then we're going to take a look at several video clips, talk about them. We also have some results from a poll that was done by local referees, OHSAA referees. They watched these clips and they gave their input. We're going to look at their responses. And we also are going to take a look at what FIFA recommends, which is not always what we want to do in regards to high school athletes and the safety. When you're on the field and you blow that whistle, you've got to have considerations as to why you blew that whistle and what your next steps are. And these points of emphasis, these considerations are going to help you make those decisions. Jamie?
Yes, thank you, Robert. So as we look at these considerations, there's a laundry list sometimes. You can get overwhelmed. So as we think about, we want to protect the safety of our players, and these are high school kids. These are not professional players. They are not college players, which some of us get into the realm of thinking, they can handle it. It's just a little contact. Protect the safety of the players, please. And we want to think about four big things here. Point of contact, where on the body that happens, foot or the boot versus the above the ankle versus in the body versus above the neck and the head. And those are always, as you go up the body, more danger, right? The mode of contact, whether they hit with the boot, with the bottom of the cleat, and then how much force, right? Coming at speed or no speed, right? Standing versus a lunge. And then we also want to talk about, is there an opportunity to play the ball? You need to be thinking about that, right? Is the ball long gone or is the ball right there at the foot as that challenge comes in? Those are those big overriding themes as well that we need to be thinking about as well. All right, let's go to it, Robert.
Non-FIFA points. So you can see that basically the first line, protect the safety of the players, that comes straight from FIFA. But the bullets underneath each of these, just kind of things that Jamie and I are looking at, we feel are important that we want to bring up. Bullet number one, every decision on the field must be based on this point. And the point being, protect the safety of the players. That's why we're there. They want to go into the classroom tomorrow. They don't want to end up in an emergency room. It is our job to keep them safe. So everything we do on that is built on safety. Look at the second. If something looks dangerous, blow the whistle. It's a high school game. They're not professional athletes. They're student athletes first. So if it looks dangerous, get control of it. Establish a tone, set that pattern that we're not going to have that tonight. And then if the referee does not protect, players will take care of issues. If you're not doing your job, players will take it upon themselves to protect their teammates. And oftentimes that gets ugly. That is not something we want. We don't want players taking it upon themselves to initiate justice. We want to be the one in control. Jamie?
Yeah, as players and the game gets more elevated, the temperature, we talk about the temperature of the game. If you feel or you see the players react, right, to contact and you're like, oh, that wasn't anything, but then you see that player sprint, that means you missed something. So at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. It doesn't look fair. The contact doesn't feel fair, doesn't look fair. Please blow the whistle, calm everybody down. And if it takes a moment, Don talks about this a lot. If it takes a moment, talk to your team. It never hurts to talk to the other referees at that time and make sure you've got all the pieces of the puzzle. Every decision needs to be fact-based. Protect the players.
Non-FIFA points. So the first one there, careless, reckless, excessive force, comes straight from the FIFA considerations. This relates, what does this look like on the field? This relates to whistle, caution, ejection. Careless is a whistle, reckless means a caution, excessive force means an ejection. Parallel between the two. Before you get to careless, there is one consideration or one thought that goes through your mind. Is it trifling? Okay. And Jamie, I'm just going to have you hit a little bit on trifling. What is trifling and how does that come before careless?
Yeah, so trifling is that it's that little nick. It's that first push, right? When the two players are battling for that ball, it's that little push off to the side. It's something that you can, as a referee, we can talk through that. We can tell the players, that's when your personality and your ability to work through the situation with your voice can really de-escalate some of that foul, and you can recognize that push off. I got you. Keep going. Keep going. That's when, as referees, really start to help players recognize that, yeah, we saw that contact, but let's keep working through it.
Thanks, Jamie. This classification, careless, reckless, excessive force, coaches understand these terms. They're aware of these terms. They know careless versus reckless versus excessive force. Get into the habit of defining those terms when you're talking to coaches, talking to players. All right, and establish that pattern of recognizing the type of foul. What can influence foul classification? This is a big one. Jamie, what are some influences here?
So those influences that we're looking for this information is, is where on the body. I touched on a couple of those points. Where on the body did that contact happen, right? How did that contact happen? How much force was used? How much speed and distance equals force, right? And then did they actually have an opportunity to play the ball? Those classifications, the more you have higher contact on the body, that becomes, so a contact on the foot when they're standing, that's pretty careless, or it could be trifling, right? But the higher on the body with more contact or more force runs up that scale. So you have to be ready to go from caution, a simple foul, standing, he just pushes, right? To the more reckless, where the guy is standing and somebody comes in and shoves him off the ball with two hands, right? to excessive force, where the guy jumps into him or the girl jumps right into that player and barrels them over. You have to think about those decisions, right?
Right, Jamie. What I hear you saying is that our classification, careless, reckless, excessive force, should be based on evidence. So we're looking for some evidence to justify our classification. One thing that I do want to point out, the skill level. I believe the skill level of the players, the environment of the game, the temperature of the game also can influence careless, reckless, excessive force. Would you agree?
Absolutely, Robert. When you're looking at those factors, we see fouls at the high school level, and we will see a couple videos later on where we're foreshadowing some information coming to you that at the professional level is one thing, but high school, we really need you to be looking at, these are high school students, and yes, their skill level is low, but oh my goodness, if we let this go at this level, we're going to be looking. Don's going to be getting a phone call, so we need to be ready for that. Know what you're seeing, be able to define what you're seeing.
All right, speed, intensity, point of contact. A couple side notes. Speed of the player or play can influence your foul classification misconduct level. Speed of both players when foul is committed, something to think about. Are both players going at the same speed, or do you have a defender coming in that's just going to clean the clock of an attacker? Does the committing player have large amount of distance before reaching fouled player? Is this distance used to pick up speed to create more force? And Jamie, talk about the next two bullets, please.
Absolutely. So the intensity of the foul, does the intensity of the foul match the intensity of the game, right? So does that foul coming in, is it just a nick at the beginning of the game versus the nick of the fourth or fifth time the same person has come through? Is this same person creating so much issues that you have to deal with it, right? Is it become unfair, right? Or is this foul standing versus a lunging foul, right? Is it glancing contact versus full contact, right?
Yep. And then look at the next bullet. I've got studs exposed, face involved, ankle, knee, or groin. All these become danger areas. And we go back to that first point, safety.
Safety. And you need to, part of this as well as movement, right? We're even going to get into a little bit of movement here, because if you can't see the point of contact onto the player, you're missing part of the puzzle piece. So make sure you're always moving to see that angle versus distance, right? Some of us are really good at angles. Some of us are really good at distance. Make sure you see that point.
Perfect. Let's move on. Foot on ground, an IFAB a consideration. FIFA, IFAB. Does player leave both feet to commit the foul? Okay, so that's a consideration. And then if that's a yes, how does this impact the safety of the players involved? Okay, now necessarily 2 feet leaving the ground, well, that can be safe, right? So a player has to jump up to head the ball. He leaves both feet, but does it impact the safety of the player? Is he coming 2 feet studs up, or you've got to classify foot on ground as a separate consideration? Example, multiple considerations could be player leaves both feet, has intense speed, and now the studs are exposed. These are 3 separate considerations for just one offense. So the offense can have multiple considerations, and as you build those considerations in your decision making, that will equate or help you decide what card, if any, you're going to pull. Jamie?
Yeah, so if you're missing, that's why we want you to be really looking at point of contact, that mode of contact, which is that speed. Point of contact is if there's if their studs are exposed, but there's no contact, right? And or studs exposed and there's contact on the foot. That is a definite point, right? So we know that point, we know the mode, intense speed, and then force. That's some pretty intense force. And we also have to look at that opportunity to play the ball. but you don't have to have all three. Sorry, my apologies. If you have three, please consider going higher, right? Okay.
That is right. All right, illegal use of arms. So basically you can use the arm as a tool or you can use it as a weapon. A tool for the arm is just a push. A weapon is a strike, okay, or a slap, or using that forearm to cause damage or injury, okay? Back again, safety. Also, always be aware, has contact been made to the face, okay? And if so, how was that illegal use of the arms used? Okay.
Yep.
Challenge for the ball, possibility to play the ball. Does the player play the ball or the player? And the response you're going to hear from coaches, but she got the ball. But they got the ball, right? Does not always mean a fair challenge has occurred, right? Just because you get the ball and you're standing there and the player behind you is on their feet screaming in pain does not make it a fair challenge. The possibility to play the ball is often based on the skill of the players. The higher the skill, the more possibility that they have to play the ball. Okay?
Yep.
Action or gray zone. Jamie, talk a little bit about this, and that is the I'm not sure. How should we lean? If we're not sure, how should we proceed?
So this is where the more you're refereeing, the more you're watching games, watching how those other referees work. Robert calls some different things that I call. Don calls some things that I call. I call some things that everybody doesn't call, right? So oftentimes we're faced at different issues that just aren't clear. Excuse me, I got a cough.
So I've listed there some skill level of players. So if you're in that, I don't know. Okay, wow, I could go this way or I could go that way. Some things to think about that should be in the back of your mind. What are the skill level of the players? Okay, so can they string 2 or 3 passes together, or are they just, can they contain? Can they trap a ball? Do you have balls flying everywhere? Temperature of the match. Are you constantly being yelled at? Are you seeing hard foul after hard foul after hard foul? Well, then that would be probably an indicator that maybe you should get control. And one way of getting control is by use of card, but also voice, whistle tone, etc. Level of the match. Are you working just a basic conference game, non-conference game? Is this a semifinal? Is this a state final? What is the level of the match? We'll take should be in your considerations, and also previous events in the match. Have you already given 5 cautions? Where are you now in regards to trying to handle that match? What is working?
Yep. Also, something else that you may think about is if you've done your homework on the teams, if you've never seen the teams, or if you're working with other referees who have seen these specific teams, what do you know about the players? Do you know that this center back or this left back is known to be a bulldog on the field, or someone that you cannot work with? Use those to help you out and to work with players and decisions.
Last point before we get to the videos is teamwork. We must work as a team. The referee team either gets it right or they all are to blame. Okay, so at the end of the match, if you don't get it right, it's not the center's fault. It's not the AR1's fault. You are a team. You basically succeed as a team, and you fail as a team. I think this sometimes is forgotten, Jamie.
Absolutely. When we work together, we get to work sometimes with friends that we see a lot, and sometimes we don't. But the referee is the captain of the ship. But when the referee needs help is when we need to make sure that mistakes aren't going to happen that will have a major impact on the game. We're going to miss a severe foul. We have to work together or to maintain match control, right? Something happens behind me. I hope my AR or me as the AR can help out my team, right? We have to be able to help out that to make sure we get it right.
All right, so we have a series of videos. These videos are from FIFA, but we're going to look at them from a high school perspective. The quality of the video, we can't beat the quality of the video. It allows us to really analyze these videos. You will also see after the video a poll, results from a poll that was given to OHSAA officials. These are your peers, and we'll see how they voted in regards to whether or not it was a foul and what type of misconduct should be displayed. So let me go ahead. The first initial run, we will not be talking. We'll just watch the video. I'll show you the results from OHSAA referees, and then we will begin to discuss. Okay, Jamie, they've seen the initial. If you want to just a little bit talk about what you're thinking.
Sure. So we see the referee is in a great credible position. We see the player come through. We're going to watch this at midfield. White player has it. Red player lunges through. I mean, there is a lunge, right? Big foot coming through over the ball. So that's something else we need to be aware of. A challenge over the ball. And we see the foul, right? So first things first, we need to decide, do we have a foul, right? All right, so let's see what our friends said. That's great. We have a foul. Good. We had 20 that said foul. Oh, sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, 20 referees, 25 took the poll. 20 of those said foul, 16 said yellow card, 4 referees said no card. So let's take a look at the considerations. Protect the safety of the players. That would have been into our consideration. So now we got to determine, was it careless or was it reckless? And also you had talked about the speed and the possibility to play the ball. Let's look at it one more time. And Jamie, what does IFAB recommend on this?
Yeah, so we're going to see this foul a lot, right? So for IFAB is saying for this one, this is pretty careless challenge, careless tackle. Speed and intensity is very low, right? This is just a normal foul. This is a normal foul. No card, direct free kick.
Okay, so IFAB is saying normal call. We had quite a few referees say a caution, high school referees saying a caution at the level. Considerations, remember the focus of this is considerations. Considerations would be safety, what has happened in that match, okay, to this point. The referee gives a yellow card in the video clip. Jamie, could this go either yellow or just a careless foul based on what's occurring in that match?
Yeah, we looked at some of those gray areas, right? And if this is a player who has, or you can feel the pressure of the game getting to a point where you need something to deflate it, this is one of those gray areas that you can go, man, I need this game. The game needs it. We need to give a caution here. So this would be this is a gray area. This is a gray area. Absolutely, Robert.
Very good. Video number 2. Okay, I saw two basically players went down there. Waiting for the instant replay, which is awesome on video.
Yes, and as we're seeing this is something that happens a lot, right? Goal kicks. A lot.
It restarted. My mistake. Sorry about that.
You're all right. So you've got one player that's screaming, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness," right? The perpetrator actually comes over and makes sure he's okay. Man, are you okay?
Jamie.
Yeah, buddy. So
yep.
Yeah. So it's okay. So what we're gonna see is number 6. You're gonna see his left foot, right?
I can't pause the video. All right, let's go ahead and do it.
Yep.
Go for it.
So we had 90%, I believe, of our poll that said this is a foul. Yes, it's a foul. We had some that said no card, and we had a bigger portion that said yellow card. So IFAB is wanting for this. This is a pretty reckless challenge, right? Yes, both players are standing, but this is a reckless challenge, foot onto foot with medium force, right? They're not lunging, they're not diving in. IFAB, this is a direct free kick and yellow card. That's a good freeze point right there, Robert. Nicely done. You see that step on step. Both are going for the ball. That's a reckless challenge. Yep.
High school, this would definitely be yellow. Look at that. The difference between making this a yellow versus red, Jamie. So some considerations that come into play was definitely that possibility of playing the ball right there. All right. Yes. So that's what holds it back. So if you're looking at, do I go red with this? Well, the ball is right there. There's a possibility. You're looking at force. He was reaching for the ball. He's the way, in this opinion, I agree with the caution. Very good. Yes. Thank you. All right, so there it is, and we've talked about the considerations. Third video.
Here we go.
Ooh.
That sounds bad, right? It doesn't look good here. We're going to see this challenge a lot. This is a skill level. This is also what's going to happen here is a bad touch by the player, right? White, light blue takes a really bad touch. So Spidey senses should rise. I call them Spidey senses. I've heard it forever. When you see a bad touch or a bad play, the whole team should go, uh-oh, right? Be ready for this challenge to come in. And lo and behold, bad touch, bad challenge.
Yeah, I learned early in my career, when there's a bad touch, you should be shifting into gears. When you see a bad touch by a player. Now, sometimes the game, the skill level, they're all bad touches, all right? But, I mean, if you're in a game, a high-level game, and you see a bad touch, be there. Get your presence, get there, because something is going to happen at one of those bad touches. So he comes in with his knee, makes contact, comes in way too hard, so force. Okay, so there it is. He does have the ability to play the ball, right? In fact, he does play the ball, but he's late. So he does have one cleat. Notice his left foot. The cleat studs are exposed, Jamie. But is that dangerous to the player? Right there.
Yeah. So that is one of those studs exposed. You've got to be aware of that. That's one of those points modes of contact, right? But he doesn't touch the player with his cleats. It looks really bad, but he does not get that player with his cleats. It is it for our high school friends and us. We said foul, great. We need that foul. For those that had no foul, we need to have a foul here. Even if there's minimal contact anywhere, we don't want a lunge like that in our high school games. We don't want that. And for us, we want a yellow card here.
Correct, a yellow card. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yep.
Video number 4. Ooh.
Ooh. Wow. This is, please, by the way, IFAB usually shows us a video of sometimes what the referee does. Don't always believe what the referee does is correct. Okay?
Remember, if you saw something like this in a high school match, what would you do? Okay, think about the considerations. Considerations, obviously, speed. Okay, this guy's taking 3-4 steps to gain speed going into that player. That is obvious. Notice, safety of the player, his studs are exposed. Okay, does he have a chance? Does he have a chance for that ball? Not at the speed that he's going. There is no way he's going to be able to make a clean play on that ball at the speed. It's one of those where you're going to get the response, but he touched the ball from the coach. Does not matter. Let's see what our friend said. There it is. So 43 OHSA referees took this poll. 36 of them said foul. 0 said no foul. Okay, glad for that. Yellow card, 7, and red card, 36. Okay, safety of the players. High school, this needs to be red. There is nothing good going to happen after this if you go yellow. It's that simple. Jamie?
Yeah, this is one of those that this has to be red. There is point of contact, cleat to cleat, cleat to ankle. This is lunging, high speed, contacts him. This is for high school, this has to be a red card. Has to be a red card and has to be disqualified here. Also, think about where it is on the field. It is right in front of the benches. Oh my goodness. If you don't deal with this, what's going to happen next? What is that high school player going to go? Oh, all right, I'll show you what a red card is if you don't send this player. Please don't let this happen in our games.
Here's the coach. All right.
All right.
Video 5.
Video 5, very good. Bad touch, bad touch.
Notice who gets the call there. The assistant referee.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
You see that flag fly really quickly.
Okay, so what are some considerations, Jamie, with this?
All right. We're going to be looking at these considerations for this one. All right. Where on the body does that contact? Right? Contacts knee to the hip, right? Yes. Is it where on the body is the contact happen? Knee to hip. Is there an opportunity to play the ball? Yeah, there's a slight opportunity, but he touches it really quickly around him, right? So, and it's point of contact, right?
Knee to hip.
Knee to hip.
Let's go ahead and see what our high school friend said. 33 out of 42 said it was a foul. Yellow card, 34.
Excellent.
I'm in agreement. The speed. There's the possibility to play the ball. Yes. And the speed. I mean, basically, that defender just got beat. The player in the red jersey made a touch on the inside and was trying to get around him. The white player, you could argue, wasn't able to turn quick enough and got caught up with the knee into this thigh. But you go back to player safety, and that player needs to be able to control his body better. Okay, he has to be aware of where he is. He can't just go in putting knees into people. So with that being said, was it on purpose? That's not for me to determine. The fact is this occurred, and it endangers the safety of players. And so with that, we're going with caution.
Yes.
What did IFAB say?
Yeah, IFAB's on with us exactly the same. IFAB is reckless tackle, contacts the attacker after the ball is gone, right? And contact knee to hip. Direct free kick, yellow card. Great
Perfect.
Teamwork. Yep.
Video number 6. And once again, I want to point out that was initiated, that foul immediately recognized by the AR. And then if it needed and the AR wanted to get that information, then a non-verbal signal suggesting the caution probably from the AR. If the referee needed a clarification or just wanted to talk it over, the referee has every right to go over there and have a small conversation with that assistant referee. And that can happen, and that's part of the teamwork. All right.
Yes. Yep.
Video 6.
This is going into the Coffin Corner. All right. We call it the Coffin Corner because nothing good will happen, and it's a lot on the referee, whether you're in a 2-man or the 3-man, right?
I do want to note the respect of the referee. Obviously, he has a lot of time. He's slow to approaching, so there's no threat of retaliation right now. So the referee is taking in those considerations. He has pulled his yellow. He's thinking about it. He's waiting for the player to turn to him. You can see for issuing the caution. Just a reminder, we do not want to caution or give cards to players on the ground. We will wait until they are up, safety first, ask them if they're okay, and then deal with the misconduct. We will always deal the misconduct. Obviously, if you need to, there's that issue of having the card out, so it may settle some nerves of players. Everyone in the stadium knows that you're going to issue that misconduct, but wait until the player stands up. Do not issue that card with a player laying on the ground if that's the case. Let's go ahead and get back to this video clip. Let me start it. Can I start it from there? Here we go.
All right. Good points, Robert, about taking your time, right?
Yep.
Take the whole scene in here. You've got the time. It's going to take a moment for that player to get up, and we'll give you a moment to take all those considerations in. Go ahead.
So I want to point out, look at how long he has to run. So there he is coming across and just cleans the guy. He's basically, that defender is saying, you're not getting past this. All right. So safety, he does it uncontrollably. That's definitely an issue. Speed, intensity. I'm thinking right now, caution based on those considerations. Let's see. Yes. Here we go. And so at least a caution. And so red card is what our OHSAA referees recommended. Jamie?
Yeah. So I think the reason it rises to red here for our high school friends and us is because of that speed and that intensity, right? He's coming hardcore. So if you as a referee feel this is a red, as long as you can justify it, awesome, great for you. We're not going to discredit you. But if you have those considerations and all those boxes are ticked, the point of contact, mode of contact, massive force, and no opportunity to play the ball.
Oh yeah. So he was late. Look at when the ball is played.
Yeah.
Versus when he makes contact. So he pushes the ball and then the guy cleans him.
Right.
That ball. I mean, basically he is beat.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the defender. He pushes the ball past the defender and the guy cleans him.
Yeah.
High school, red.
Please.
Okay.
Please go red there.
Yep. I think we're on consensus with that. What did IFAB say? I think this one may differ with IFAB. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, you were right. This is one of those ones that IFAB says this is just a yellow card, right? A reckless tackle. Point of the contact is low on the foot. It is low because the ball is already gone and it's late. IFAB says direct free kick yellow. In high school, we want to up this ante here. This is not good in high school.
There's no need for this in a high school game dealing with student athletes.
No way.
There it is. You see that distance, you see that intensity, you see we don't need it in a high school game.
No.
All right, video number 7.
All right, here we go. Bad touch. We see a bad touch here, right? Raise your spidey senses. It's right in front of the benches. Raise your spidey senses. The fourth official jumps in between the coach and the players. That should also be a big decision here.
Okay, so we can see the slow-mo here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the offense was created, or the offense occurred with the player in black jersey. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yes, so, that's what 18 goes into the white players.
He sees them coming.
Boom.
Puts that cleat up. Boom. Okay, that's intentional. You will see that in high school. You could potentially see that in high school. Okay, player coming in. I'm basically going to stomp my foot right there on top of your ankle. Okay. We will, in most games, we do not have the luxury of the fourth official. So you as a referee in a high school match, you're going to have to deal with that coach rising up from the bench. So you've got two things to deal with. The coach, who is obviously irate. He's trying to protect his players in that circumstance, and you've got to make a decision. Let's take a look at the high school referees. What they said: foul, 20 of them; yellow card, 16 of them. Jamie, thoughts?
Yeah. So this one took is in speed. This looks like just a foot onto foot, right? We slow it down. We get a better angle of view, right? The point of contact is high ankle, is right on the ankle bone, right? The mode of contact is those cleats right into that ankle. The force, that is a full stomp. That hurts. And we also had a good point brought up in the high school meeting is that there's a push from the white player into the black player, right? His teammate, watch number 2 here. He gives a push, just a push. So he may give him a little off balance. So we can deal with that after this. But the most severe decision here is this has to be a red card in our games. This cannot go unpunished. This must be a red card and disqualify this player.
So we go against what most referees, we encourage referees to look at the considerations. They came out with the poll based on this response with yellow. We are suggesting that this is more likely to be a red card based on the considerations and possibly a caution for the player pushing number 18 into that step. Yes, there was a push, but number 18 definitely, there's no doubt that he raises his cleats and puts it right in the area, point of contact that is dangerous to another opponent. Okay.
Yep. Excellent.
All right, video number 8.
Watch it one more time.
Let's go ahead and look at our poll.
Yeah,
So
go ahead and hit the poll.
43 said foul, 33 said yellow card. We have 7 with a red card. We will basically throw out the no foul and the no card. That's just your random results in a poll. Let's watch this again.
He's taking a touch towards the middle, passes it towards his teammate. And what we see here, oh, go ahead, Robert. I'm so sorry.
Referee in a great view. So that player basically just doesn't even regard playing the ball. He's definitely going in. Watch this. There's no. I mean, he just goes up and over the ball. And if you see that up and over the ball into the player, okay, Jamie's spidey sense should be going off.
Yes, yes.
And in considerations, Jamie, based on the considerations, he's going over in a high school level match. You're going to stomp on that player's cleats. Based on the temperature, I mean, other considerations I would be using would be the temperature of the game, what has occurred previously to that point where that foul occurred. You know, what's going on, and definitely caution, possibly red. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie, your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts. So is it a late tackle or is he just not playing the ball right? That's what Robert said. And that's what we're looking at is that player goes over the ball. If we see that challenge over the ball, it raises our considerations to maybe a darker decision for a caution versus a red card disqualification.
What did IFAB have on this?
So for us, so this was video 8, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Reckless tackle, foot on the defender on the ground, unfair contact when the challenge. So direct free kick, yellow card for IFAB.
Like we say, IFAB, their decision is a yellow card, but with other considerations in a high school game could make this red.
Absolutely. Okay?
Yes. And that would be, you know, needed in some games to keep the safety of the players, keep them safe, and to maintain control of this match.
Okay? Yep.
Video number 9.
Video 9. Here we go. right? We see, what do we see here? Our point of contact is foot on foot, right? Our mode of contact our point of contact is on the foot. Our mode of contact is foot to foot, right? Force, I think we're looking at, Robert, is this a medium force or is this a high force, right?
I think both players go into the challenge with the same intensity, with the same speed. I think both of these players are going at it. It seems to be, both at the same level. I'm looking at, let's see what the high school. So I'm in agreement with the high school referees here from OHSAA. Yellow card 39 of them, foul 41. Red card, I just don't think it has enough intensity, enough. The point of contact is foot to foot, right. So I don't think it meets enough considerations to make that red. I'll play it one more time.
Both the players are going challenging for the ball, right? Well, unfortunately, one goes after it, and the second player, the yellow player, that's some pretty unfair contact. So foot to foot, it's on the ground, but it is foot to foot, so that becomes a yellow card. Just like IFAB. Yep.
Timing also, so you can see that one was late and one got there first. And caution, I would agree. All right, video number 10.
Good. Here we go. Oh yeah, this was don't always remember. Yeah. This is one where we don't always watch what the referee does. Think of these outside factors, temperature of the game. Where on the field does this happen? Right? You can even see the bench in the background. They're gonna get grumpy real quick. Both technical areas.
So both Jamie and I immediately we're going red. The considerations can defend this. There's evidence in the considerations. Both of them have the possibility of playing the ball. Is the way that with the speed, they're not worried about playing a ball going in there. Okay, they're both going into each other. Their cleats are exposed, studs are exposed, so the location of the foot, the studs are exposed. They're going straight into the player. There's no question that you give a red in regards to high school.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, there, you see a foot extended out like that, like the yellow player is. Red is going up with the with the top of his foot exposed. Yellow is showing his studs. I mean, really at the elbow. I mean, oh my goodness, if he doesn't get him, oh my goodness, we do not want this in our game.
Yeah, so that's a great image right there. Look at that. So the green actually points his studs away from the player. 22 coming in points. If you look, he points his toe down, which puts the studs away from the player. Number 7 going in like that actually points his toe up, so the studs are exposed. He's either going to get the ball or get the player. And when you see those studs exposed like that, highlight that, creating a serious danger to the opponent, you've got to go red in high school. Okay?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. IFAB once. Yeah. Sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
They're the results. We agree with the 33 that said red card. The foul 39.
Yeah, this has to be a foul, and in high school, this should be a red card.
Very good. Let's continue. Video 11.
Ooh, that's going to leave a mark.
Yeah. So while we're looking at these clips, a lot of high school players watch these clips, and you kind of see a theme of these cleats just going up, being exposed. Okay, the foul here, take a look, is on the red. Look at the cleats exposed. When you start seeing cleats exposed to other players, you've got to put a stop to that. And one way to put a stop to that is through the cards. Okay, so let's look at what the high school. So there you are, yellow card and a foul. So let's look at what makes what makes referees say a yellow on this is the intensity and the speed at which that player is coming in, right? And the possibility to play a ball. Let's watch it one more time. I'm gonna go down here to where it's zoomed in a little bit. Okay, so really he is stationary on that one leg. So 20 is kind of right there, all of his weight. He's not really running in. He's kind of walking into it, and he just puts his cleat up there. That is definitely, in my opinion, a cautionable offense at the high school level. Yes. Had he have force, if he's coming in with force, or if he's kicking out that foot, okay, with more intensity, then that changes the story. But looking at this video, I would agree that this is a cautionable offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we're seeing is contact is with the studs, is studs to the top of the foot of the white player. Red goes into the white because red, honestly, that's being lazy, right? He just wants to put his foot out there to try to stop him. Well, he gets him. And so let's give him the red player his reward. Let's give him a caution and let him go off the field. Go get your water.
Video 12, I believe we have 13 videos, so we've got 2 more videos to watch. Jamie?
All right. Yep, go ahead. All right, video number 12. This kind of goes back to that first video where there is contact. Yep. First video, there's a large lunge, right? And medium force, but no contact, right? Low contact, right? In that first video we watched. Let's see what our high school friends said after we watched this one more time through. Big lunge, absolutely big lunge, right?
Yeah.
Foot on foot, contact is made to the studs, with the studs to the opponent's foot, right?
Yeah, so we're looking at possibility of playing the ball in a high school game. That is very unlikely. He's late. The speed, though, is not there. So that's the only thing that I hesitate when I'm thinking about what color to pull. Yes. And so I'm in agreement because of the lack of speed. I would agree that this is definitely a yellow card, stern warning. However, temperature of the game, what previously has occurred, that takes into consideration as to what color I pull ultimately. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. He is standing, but he does lunge and he does get that foot. So for as well, I agree. This is and IFAB agrees. This is a yellow card, direct free kick.
All right, video 13. I believe this is our last video.
Very good.
Very quick. Wait for the replay. I believe it'll slow it down. Give us another look. So point of contact. Let's watch it again. Think about point of contact. Obviously, he takes him just from the feet. He does not point of contact for the offending player. Is not his studs. It is more of his chest, his upper body. Let's watch it one more time.
Yep.
Speed is there. Speed is there.
He takes 4 or 5 steps to lunge into them, but where's that contact? So then the caution comes out.
Okay, so on the video, the caution comes out. Let's see what our high school says. Our high school did not poll this video, so Jamie, let's just go ahead and make based on the considerations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for us, let's go here. It's a reckless challenge, reckless tackle here. It's late, comes from distance, contacts the body with some high speed. So not all those boxes are ticked for a red. For us and for IFAB, this is a yellow card.
I agree. Yellow card with the idea that things have been going smooth in the match up to that point.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
All right, very good. In conclusion, let's kind of wrap it up, Jamie. I believe Don is listening, and he'll tell us how to end this meeting. But Jamie, final thoughts.
Yeah. So please, as a referee team, we're looking at the safety of the players. Everybody wants to go home. Mom and dad want to see their son and daughter happily. Sometimes not always happily, but be able to walk off the field with their teammates and go to school the next day. So those 4 big things, right? Point of contact, mode of contact, how much force and speed, and then opportunity to play the ball. These are our considerations from FIFA. And if you ever need them, they're on US Soccer, they're on IFAB, free to have. And we thank you so much for attending and listening. And Robert, thank you so much, man. Well done.
Jamie, I appreciate you jumping in. I know we're in 2 separate locations right now, doing this on a Wednesday morning. But hey, it was great hearing your voice, and we'll be working a game soon together sometime.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, and take care.
Don Mitch here. I want to thank both of you gentlemen for an excellent presentation, especially getting the 4 factors into the high school judgment of fouls and misconduct. So everyone, I hope that you urge your fellow referees to watch this video. Thank you very much.